Right. Anyway, let's wrap up some shit to do with Spaceballs
Okay.
and see what's what. So, closing comments. Closing comments. Is there anything that you're particularly fond of, particularly noticeable that you'd like to mention that you have not done to this point, Stefan?
Yes. Well, we were
Right.
saying about
Do it
some of the
quickly
jokes. All right. Okay. I'm going. Bloody hell.
then.
One of the jokes that still lands and I still think is clever and very funny is when you think they've captured the good guys, but they've only captured the stunt doubles.
Yeah.
That is funny. That is, I like that as a joke. That's a bit of
Yeah.
its fourth wall. It's,
Do you know what?
it's.
Do you know what I
Good.
also like as well is the fact that they have when they land their Winnebago at the Spaceballs place, is
Yeah.
they do actually have two guards that are the same size as them that they can steal their clothes, because it's obviously like quite a common trope in movies,
Yeah.
particularly of that era, where the good guys will steal the clothes of some people to blend in, and they're
Yeah.
never ever the same size people, and yet their clothes fit like they're tailored to them.
Yeah.
And yet in this one, they kind of make a point of being like, no, they need to be the same size people. To
Yeah.
I mean, they could have gone one way or the other with it. They could have gone ridiculously overboard with it and be like, because what was it, Austin Powers? The first Austin Powers, they do that, don't they? Where
Yes.
they've got like, and I think they've got like a 7 foot tall man and a short woman who looks like Queen Victoria.
Yeah.
And then Austin Powers and Vanessa.
Liz Hurley.
Yeah, I can't remember the character's name though. But anyway,
Yeah, it's
they come
Vanessa.
out
You're
and
right.
they're wearing perfectly fitting jackets.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the fact that they did it well, right or not right. I don't really know. I don't know what the correct is, but yes, that is good. That is good. What
That's
else
a
you
good
got? What
joke.
else you got? Did you have one more thing?
I did have
in
one
terms
more
of
thing
things?
that this worked when I first saw it, and it works now. Daphne Zuniga as Princess Vespa. Major crush on her the first time I saw this film,
Really?
and yeah, and still
I'm
very
not surprised
much.
by that, but yeah,
No, very appealing. So
very
it's still
appealing.
got that going for it. It's still got a very attractive lady in it. So
Good.
that's a good thing.
Good. Well
That's a
done
good
for
thing.
putting an attractive woman in a film. Well done for thinking of that brain.
Yeah, well done,
Whose
Hollywood.
brainchild that was.
What a great
Never seen that
idea.
before. While we're on the subject of original cinema, let's put more attractive women in films. We don't get enough.
Yeah, underrepresented minority, I feel. Might need more of them.
We're in Star Wars. Women in general, underrepresented.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter attractive or not.
True.
Yeah. But well, yeah, okay, that's good. That's good to hear some of those positive things that are still positive. That's nice.
Yeah, that's it.
In terms of things though that we haven't really spoken about, things that have always annoyed us about it. We've only spoken about things that haven't aged well. Is there anything in your books that basically you didn't like when you first saw it and you've never really warmed to?
Yeah, there is something like that.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, I've spoken before, been quite vocal on my thoughts on the droids in Star Wars. I mean, they managed to just, I mean, I even thought she was annoying when I was a kid. And for some reason, Joan Rivers' voice has always just grated on me so much. And it was annoying when I was a kid, and it's annoying now. And just that whole Dot Matrix character is a fucking pain in the ass. So I mean, if it's trying to do annoying Star Wars droid, it succeeds. But
even with that Virgin
doing
alarm.
so, it has
the
to
Virgin
be.
alarm. Do you like that?
No, it's just it's so cheesy. No, I don't like that. It is just shit.
No,
I mean, we talked about the trope the other day of couples having their very first kiss and being interrupted. It's just such a worn out trope. It's just I can't stand it. And the way she does it is the most annoying way ever.
Yeah.
So never worked for me and never will.
Yes.
Is that different to your one?
No, it is actually different to mine, but she's like that annoying best friend in movies, that the one that somehow, like in a lot of romantic comedies, there's always a best friend who, despite the fact that their life is slightly in tatters, not really going anywhere, doing anything, they're still the one who's like always giving out advice to everyone else and always telling everyone else what they should be doing and whatever else. And it's just like
cock blocking.
Cock blocking. Yeah. I've not had a stable relationship ever in my life, but you shouldn't be with this person. They're bad for you.
Exactly.
Which sometimes are
Very
right, but
annoying.
sometimes they're not. Sometimes they are. Sometimes they do get it wrong. Or right. Who knows? No, my one about things that I've always not particularly liked. I don't like I think they're called the dinks.
The little Oompa Loompas.
Yeah, and who are supposed to be Jawas. They're supposed to be Jawas or Jawas / Oompa Loompas. I don't really know.
Bit of both,
I don't
really,
like them. I don't like actually seeing their faces. That I find off-putting.
I recognise some of them.
Do you?
There was the black actor who's in Me, Myself and Irene, the one that gets off with his wife and causes him to have his proper mental breakdown. And I'm sure he's been in other films as well. I'm sure he's been in other stuff. I can't think what, but he definitely looked familiar. But
I see.
Yeah, in the 80s, I guess there was a group of dwarf actors who were in lots of different productions, weren't they? So you see a lot of the same faces around.
Warwick Davis.
Was he in this?
I don't know. He's in everything else.
He would have still been very young, though, wouldn't he? Because he was only a little kid in Return of the Jedi, wasn't he?
Yeah, but 4 years later, maybe.
Maybe.
Mid-teens.
Could have been all right.
Who knows?
I think I'd have known if I'd have seen him, though. I'm pre-programmed to spot his face. I'd have known.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know. I can spot Warwick Davis a mile off.
Yeah.
No,
he's only little.
They just annoy me slightly, and have always annoyed me slightly. They're like the whole ding, 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 ding. Ah, fuck off.
Yeah, it's a bit annoying. Yeah, so I guess one of the other references then is probably Willy Wonka, maybe you could say.
Possibly.
Or is it Sleeping Beauty? No, not Sleeping Beauty.
What?
Who's the Snow White? Yeah. Because they do that. Isn't it Snow White where they do that song? Do. Maybe. Who knows?
I don't know. But it's either way.
But yeah, I get your point. They are a bit annoying.
I didn't like them very much.
You're not supposed to see Jawas' faces. That's part of the charm of them.
That's all I want to hear from them.
Exactly.
All I want to hear from them.
What about a reverse reference, though? What about other films referencing Spaceballs? Because I think I spotted one.
Go on.
Do you think the what do we call it? The shield that goes around a whole planet, but then you open up a little pocket of it to let traffic in and out.
Ooh,
very much like Rogue One. Yeah. Didn't you think?
Potentially. Star Trek's got a few examples of that as well. So the Star Trek, the one with Idris Elba as the bad guy, who the name of it I can't. It's not Into Darkness.
One of the newer films.
Beyond, Star Trek Beyond, I think it is. Yeah. So I think the first one was just Star Trek. Then it was Star Trek Into Darkness. What's the second one with
about Nemesis? Was that one of the older ones?
Nemesis was a next gen one. That was the last one, which included Tom Hardy playing a cloned Jean-Luc Picard.
Oh yeah.
Good God, I could use my knowledge for some real benefit. Honestly, why can I reel this shit off? But I can't remember. What Lucy's told me we're having for dinner last night, or tomorrow night, even,
or when her birthday is, or your anniversary, or anything.
Has she got a birthday? I don't know.
No.
Actually,
not this year.
Anniversary. Opportunity to defend myself here. I am always the one who remembers when her anniversary is. She forgets. She's like, how long have we been married? What? I'm like, he's joking. Are you joking?
You what?
And then I tell her.
It's a good thing she doesn't listen to this podcast, isn't it?
No, quite.
But then bang in trouble.
I tell her the reason I remember that we got married in 2014, and then I reel off a load of sporting events that happened that year. Like, well, this happened, and then this has happened, and this happened. So I know we got married that year because of all these sporting events. She's like,
Yeah.
and obviously because it was the greatest event of my life.
Exactly.
So anyway, we digress quite dramatically. What were we saying? So Star Trek Beyond, I think, is the one where
that did
Idris Elba
that did a planet thing, did it?
Did a planet shielded with a thing, that a gate that it had to go through to get it. So yes, I think it has been a well-used thing, and perhaps Spaceballs was the first to do it.
That's what I'm thinking. I was impressed when at first I saw it. I was like, "Oh, that's a rip-off," and I thought, "No, wait, I don't think anything came before this. Did it?
Well done, Spaceballs.
So hats off to it. It's got a legacy it's left behind there.
Mel Brooks, smashing,
visionary,
absolutely smashing. Yes. Yeah. Well, we knew that anyway. We knew he was smashing anyway.
We did.
So fair play to him. Okay.
All right. Well, we've always known.
Yeah. So on the subject of parodies, though, are there any other parodies you'd like to mention in line? Now we're talking about Spaceballs, and it may be stuff that we devote other episodes to later down the line. But is there anything you want to chuck in the mix now, just while we're talking about parodies, and it's got the creative juices flowing?
Oh, well, I mean, that's the great thing, is you see Star Wars referenced everywhere, don't you? In TV shows, in music. It is just a part of the zeitgeist, isn't it? It's just a part of our culture, which I love. But particular ones I like. I like it every time it pops up in something like Simpsons, because that's a fantastic program anyway. So when it marries that with the best films ever made, that's a marriage made in heaven. I can't remember the name of the episode, but there's the one actually with Mark Hamill in it, where he does the whole "Luke, be a Jedi tonight."
Luke, be a Jedi tonight.
And it's the one where Homer is bodyguard to the mayor, and he's like, "Use the forks." Yeah, so I love that. But something this did get me thinking of, something I hadn't seen for a while. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Robot Chicken.
Not something I've ever paid a huge amount of attention to. No.
Okay. Well, there was, Seth Green, who does Chris, the voice of Chris, and he's also an actor in his own right, of course.
Yeah, he is. He was in Austin Powers. Austin Powers, as we said earlier.
Going back to Austin Powers. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's something he did in the sort of mid-noughties era. Well, they basically took little action figures and animated them and did little spoofs and skits and things. Well, anyway, they evolved that, and eventually they did 3 Star Wars specials. These are 3 half-hour specials. So it's all stop animation using the actual animated figures, but the smooth articulation they can get is very impressive. I would definitely say check it out. But it's little sketches. It's like watching a comedy sketch show. It's just little 30 seconds here, move on kind of thing. And it's little pockets of jokes, and some of it is absolutely hilarious. In fact, I think they stole some of their material from us, even though they were before us. So I'm not sure how that works.
20 years earlier.
I need to get our lawyers look into that, how they stole our jokes like from the future. So
time machine.
Yeah, time thieves in a time
jokes. Go on, tell us, what jokes have they nicked from us?
I think basically it's just I find things that, oh shit, I mentioned that on the show and I thought that was an original.
When you say us, don't throw me in your thing. Don't get me plagiarizing other people.
I said I mentioned it.
Yeah, I mean,
I won't go into the examples. It's because my stuff's all original, copyrighted genius. But there are some great sketches there that we definitely have thought of, like George Bush discovers he's got a high midichlorian count and he goes on a rampage. He throws Bill Clinton in a river. He has a lightsaber fight with Abraham Lincoln. There's a ton of Jar Jar Binks stuff, and they actually had Ahmed Best on it. In fact, loads of the original cast ended up doing voices for this. Mark Hamill, George Lucas is in it himself quite a bit, so he's clearly got a good sense of humor about it. Carrie Fisher pops up doing a few voices. It's very funny. There's one where Jar Jar Binks visits Darth Vader on the Death Star, and he's like, "Annie, me so pleased to see you, Annie." And Vader's like, "Oh shit!" So he fires Jar Jar Binks out of an airlock and kills him. He's like, "Thank God that's the end of that." Anyway, he goes to bed, and then suddenly Jar Jar Binks comes back as a Force ghost, and he promises to play with Annie forever and ever. So I mean, it's hilarious. You got to see it. There's loads of Boba Fett, so it's obviously really good. But they make him out to be a bit of a badass, but also a bit of a like cocky prick. But there's a really funny bit where he's making out with Han Solo whilst Han Solo's frozen in the carbonite. That has to be seen to be believed. So that I think it's very much the progenitor for, I think, some of the stuff you might be mentioning shortly when I shut up. But I do.
was gonna say, I bet that
you to check it out.
I bet Han Solo and Boba Fett making out in the 90s or whatever it is. I bet the American Christian right went nuts for that.
Yeah.
What are you doing to Star Wars?
Yeah, it's incredibly adult. It's very adult. Yeah. Loads of swearing, loads of mature themes. Seth MacFarlane
there's quite a lot of
voices as well.
So, you can't miss Seth MacFarlane. That will lead nicely on to our parody thing I was going to mention
exactly.
as well.
Segue. Take it.
I will finish my thought I was formulating there, where I think actually a lot of the right-wing Americans in those days thought that Star Wars was communist propaganda. So we'll see. They may not have been aware of Robot Chicken.
Bunch of terrorists. No.
God damn it. So, yeah, Seth MacFarlane. I don't think we could get through this segment without talking about Family Guy.
Yeah.
And their version of the trilogy, which is utterly hilarious still now to this day. Like, all of them fantastic, particularly Blue Harvest, the first one. And having Stewie as Vader, just utter genius. And then having the old paedophilist Yoda. Well, actually,
he's Obi-Wan.
He's Obi-Wan. Sorry, yeah.
Sorry,
I misspoke there. But he's it's fantastic.
That is hilarious. He's got his floppy lightsaber. He's trying to attack him. He sees Chris and suddenly, now it's straight.
Yeah,
it's very wrong. But yeah, that is hilarious.
It is hilarious. The whole thing. I won't go into huge detail now because I think the whole trilogy of that, we may devote an episode to it later down the line. So I'm not going to spunk my powers away right now.
No, don't blow your wad now. Blimey.
We shall see. But when such time comes that we do that, I'm very much looking forward to rewatching those because it's been a while. It's been a while.
Yeah.
I mean, those are probably like 20 years old already. At least
that's the scary thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the scary thing. That's
20 years. Bastards.
It's a bit of a worry, isn't it?
It's a bit of a worry, this linear time game, isn't it? How it goes that way. I don't know how we do it.
We're agreed that the original trilogy's old. So that's fine. That's understood. But The Force Awakens is going to be pushing 10 years old pretty soon. I mean, that's not okay. That's a new film.
How dare it?
That's been out 5 minutes, for God's sake. That's not all right.
Well, Daisy, it would have been, I guess more than 10 years ago that Daisy Ridley was given the part.
Yeah, exactly.
And what's his face?
All the other guys.
All the other people that are in it. Yeah, them lot. So
those guys.
Yeah.
Isaac and someone.
Oscar Isaac.
Yes.
All those people. Yeah. So anyway, time goes. Nothing we can do about it. It's just the way it is. Make the most of it while you can, guys. That's all it is.
That's right.
Anyway, okay, all right. Well,
on that cheery note,
it's not still chat. No,
the relentless march of time.
Make the most of it.
It's a positive message.
The one thing,
YOLO.
One thing money can't buy is a minute of time. Who's that from?
No.
That was from Avengers, wasn't it? No amount of money ever bought a minute of time. That's.
But then they started doing time travel stuff.
You're still aging. Aging while that happens. You're not stopping age.
One of them came back as a baby at one point. So I think
Oh, there's Ant-Man. Yeah, you could just
Ant-Man
do that
came
all the
back to the
time. Yeah,
paper.
you literally
Yeah.
just every day, just go through it. Like, just make me a day younger. You basically I'd get to what age would you get to do that? I'd go.
I said when I first
I
lost a load of weight, can we just go back to that every day?
I don't want to have to lose the weight again.
I can eat whatever I want every day and just time travel back 2 days hence.
Oh, I'm trying to think of a time though, like because it's that balance between a physical state and a mental state. I was like, well, I could go back to when I was like 30, 31, when physically I was probably around about my peak, but then I was probably not matured properly by then. I was still a bit of a just didn't
Dick.
really know what I was doing. But
Yeah.
if I could have like a mature version of a young body, that'd be great. There must be a way to do that in the multiverse.
Yeah. Well, I think you keep your brain. I think you're just de-aging your body.
Oh, in that case, great. Fantastic.
So
I'll just
you
do it
got
now.
all your knowledge and experience of now, but in your peak physical form. Imagine the damage you could do with that.
So you could literally wait till you get to like 50, gain another
Yeah.
10 years knowledge, and then go back to
Well,
25.
exactly. But then,
right.
where'd you draw the line? You might just get hit by a bus before you could go back and do it. And you're like, bollocks.
Oh shit! I should have done it earlier.
Ah,
Should have done it.
cashed
But
out
then,
too soon.
well, actually, and also as well, I've completely nullified my point in terms of you don't need to wait till you get to 50, because if you're saying that your brain doesn't go back, you're still accumulating that experience.
Yeah.
The time
Yeah,
is still the same.
exactly. You still learn all that stuff. You just have a hot bod with guns and six packs and glutes.
I'm not sure I've ever had or going to have a hot bod.
Oh, I
a body is what I've had. Oh, you're sexy man, you.
Oh, hunk of a man you are. I get all hot and bothered just thinking about it.
Right. Anyway, let's move along.
Is that enough bollocks?
Move along. Good God, how much shit can we chat in an hour?
Oh.
I don't know. Next week, John Williams and the music of Star Wars. So, which is mostly John Williams, I should imagine we will talk about, but a few other bits chip in there.
Some honourable mentions.
Definitely some honourable mentions. Like boop, 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 which I think might have been John Williams as well, but hey. I don't think anyone else touched the first three.
We've got Figuring Dan and Model Nodes coming on to do interview.
Who?
And the Max Rebo band. Figuring Dan and Model Nodes, they're the band in the Cantina.
Oh, right. I don't give a shit. Actually, that was one of the taglines, wasn't it? When we started talking about doing this podcast, and we were like, well, what makes us different from other podcasts, the Star Wars podcasts? Because there's several out there. And like, he's not knocking any of them. They're all good, but like we were like, well, what actually makes us different? One of my, I can't remember if it was you or me that actually said it. I think it doesn't really matter, but I was like, I feel like we're a podcast for Star Wars fans, people who like Star Wars.
Yeah,
do not give a shit what the individual members of the Cantina band are called.
You might not.
You may not. Like, that's me anyway. Steph's like, hang on a minute. I care.
Yeah, whoa. I didn't agree to this. I thought this was a highbrow, in-depth discussion of the individual members of the Cantina band. That's what I was promised. I've been waiting 21 weeks for this discussion.
That reminds me, actually. I was, last week we made reference to, for the moment, just to make the point, I'll call it the EU. We made reference to the EU with regards to Star Wars, not European Union.
The thing.
And we denied on the thing about whether we'd given it the right name or whatever else. And you congratulated me for calling it the Extended Universe.
Yeah, well, sarcastically.
Well, yeah, I was wrong. So.
Yeah, you were wrong. That was my point.
I know, but you didn't help me. I was like, well, am I right?
No, I hung you out to dry.
You hung me massively out to dry. You could have corrected me there. You could have gone, did you mean the expanded? And I was like, I don't know what the fuck I meant. I don't know.
No. Well, you don't give a shit, so who cares?
I don't care. I don't care. It's Yeah,
It's actually the
I've had-
enhanced universe. That's the correct
I think you
terminology.
are pulling my leg, sir. Even Google, even when I looked it up afterwards, when I listened back to it, I was like, I'm not sure that's right. Even when I Googled it, Google was like, do you mean the expanded? It's like,
Oh,
yes, I
even
think I
Google
do.
knows.
I think
Oh,
I
and
do.
also, that film is just called Inferno. It doesn't have Dante's
Oh,
or
right.
any other word in front of it. It's just called
I mean,
Inferno.
I care even less about getting that right. But we were right about the premise of it, right? It's about seven
Yeah,
circles of
yeah.
hell.
We were right
Yeah.
about that. It's about Dante's Divine Comedy, and it definitely has what's her face in it, so it's worth it for that.
Callista Flockhart. No, I don't know
No,
why I said Callista Flockhart. What shit?
what? That's
What
Han
was Callista
Solo's
Flockhart?
wife, is it? Or not Han
It
Solo.
is. Is it from Ali McBeal?
Yeah, that's right.
Felicity
No,
Jones.
old
Who are you talking about?
Felicity Jones. Thank you. Yes, I am.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why we were
Jin-
talking about it originally.
Jin Erso.
Yes,
Girl.
gin and
Girl.
tonic. Girl.
Gin and Slim.
Mm.
Anyway, right, yeah. So next week, John Williams, music thing. If you want to get in contact with us, you know where we are. aloneinthesouthpassage@gmail.com. Instagram, Twitter @AITSP_podcast. Get in contact with us there. Give us a rating. 5 stars, please. If you
Yep.
or 4. 4 is quite nice as well. If you want to give us 4.
But not less than 4 though. Come on.
If it's less than 4, don't bother.
Not for this gold. Yeah. If you don't like it, let us know you don't like it and don't bother leaving a rating.
Yeah, give us a chance. Give us a chance to respond to your feedback before you give us a shit rating, please.
Yeah, come on.
So it's only polite. It's only polite. Exactly. Anyway, right, Steff, any final comments before we go? Or are you happy to sign off for one more week?
I'm done. I just want to thank you, as always, for a lively debate. And thank our listeners for tuning in. And we'll catch you guys next week.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Good night, guys.
Bye.